Jaren Jackson, I'm curious your thoughts, because he's a great player, you're a great player, and he's a great kid like you are. Would you talk about Jaren?
Yeah, like you say, he's a great kid. He reminds me of myself when I first came here, confused, ready to play. But I feel like he's going to be an exact replica of me.
When I watch him, I'm going to tell you where I think the closest similarity is. You crave coaching. You crave it. You love it. I've watched people who, when they go to the bench, try to avoid this guy. You go right to him. In fact, there's times I think you annoy him. He wants you to get away from him. You crave it. I see a lot of that in Jaren. Do you?
Yeah. We just had a weight session earlier, and he was asking a lot of questions. X does the same thing, but that's why I like them too. I feel like they'll be really coachable, and I'm going to love playing with them.
I would ditto off what he said in your question. You know, like I said, Tom said something to me just this morning that I think is kind of a neat, you know, Jaren, he's got that NBA body with the length and all that. He doesn't have the strength. You know, we'll find out if he has the mental capacity. I think he does, but this guy is mentally very strong. They're different players, different positions, but I agree with him. They're similar, and that's why when Tom said, you know, Miles set the standard on how to act coming in with a lot of hype. We have to make sure that Jaren sees and understands that and handles it the same way. I said, you know what I said? That's not your job, Tom, that's Miles' job, because nobody can do it better than the guy that lived it and walked it.
Well, it'd be like me. You're skinny, Tom. I can talk to guys about losing weight. I've lost 170 pounds, but a skinny guy, he can talk to him, but it's not going to resonate. Right. And I think you having been the star. So let's go back to Jaren for a minute, because I think there's one thing that maybe sets Jaren apart like you as well. He's not impressed with himself. He doesn't walk into the room and think he's the star. He doesn't walk in wanting to be treated any different. That tells me good family like you had and like him. Is that maybe a little bit undersold with Jaren as well, the humility?
Yeah, I mean, he has a great family, a great mother, a great father. And I can see where he gets his humility from. Like you said, he loves to learn. He's like I said, he's just like me. So I feel like he'll be great for us.
And that is understood. When he said about the weight room this morning, Jaren walked in here, I said, how was weights this morning? Oh, Coach, I was awful. I got killed. Is that true? I mean, I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a hard day for him.
Yeah. And he says, you know, well, most guys would say, it was easy. You know, they're not very good evaluators of all it was. He's a very good self-evaluator, and you picked up on something that I would have to agree with. You know, there's times Miles and I would text during the year if something's going right or wrong, and I'd get texts back, keep coaching me, keep coaching me. In 20 years, I'm not sure I've had many guys that say that. You know, everybody, this is a day and age, everyone wants to feel sorry. He's got bigger dreams than just being a great player. He wants to be an elite. He wants to be the best. And I think he now, because he's going to be a captain on this team as a sophomore, which doesn't happen very often, and he is going to have to do what Tom said. He's going to have to, Tom's going to take some of those players and help curb them, but the ones that are in sort of his air, you know, I mean, Josh was a highly recruited kid. X is going to be a very good player, but he wasn't recruited like he wasn't rated like Miles and like Jaren, you know. And you said it. You lost weight. You did this. You know what it takes. Well, he knows the pressures that people are going to put on Jaren, because not only is Jaren not rated quite as high, but rated very high, but he's 6'11", so he stands out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Miles stands out, but Josh stands out. I mean, Jaren stands out even more. Would you agree?
Yeah, he does.
I want to ask you about Xavier. I don't think Xavier realizes how good he can be. Now, that's humility, and obviously he comes from a family that isn't, look at us, look at us. I think I think there's a thread here. But do you agree with me on that? And if so, if Xavier Tillman one day can look in the mirror and say, you can be great, how good can he be? Would you talk about him and what you think?
Yeah, he can be really great. I remember we were playing the open gym He was guarding me, and then after the open gym, he had told Josh, he was like, yeah, Miles is so good, but he doesn't understand that he was guarding me good, he was playing good himself, but he doesn't. That's good for him that he don't think he's as great as he is, because that'll help him in the long run.
I agree with him. You know, if in a couple of days, a couple of practices that we've had, I'd say that I underestimated how good.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like we went and watched him. We were all there at Eastern, and he played really good against Kalamazoo Central, I think it was. And he had a good, but he's a very unselfish kid. He averaged, 12 points. Wasn't big numbers, wasn't big rank. He's starting to lose weight. He's starting to get in shape.
Yeah.
These guys are going to help him. A player-coach team is the best. And I got guys that want to coach people.
So I guess if I'm asking you, Tom, about Jaron and Xavier, and really even going back to your class, I have seen you up close have to coach guys that thought they were considerably better than they were, thought they were smarter than you, and it's like beating your head on the wall. You're getting a whole different group of kids now that come in saying, coach me, you're the Hall of Famer, I want to be great. How does that make you better?
Well, the Hall of Fame thing makes me no better. I humbly say there's a lot of coaches that could be, and I was lucky enough to get in it because of the players I had. But I don't want them looking at me that they would give me respect because I got an award. I think I have to earn it. I think that's the difference with today's people and past. It's nothing bad. I've got to earn my respect with them. They shouldn't respect me because of my title. And that's how you become closer. Tom, and Miles and Josh, we were talking one day, and they were saying, when Tom came here, it was with Denzel and them, and we had a pretty close team. And Tom said, I don't know if we can get any better than this. And the next year, we're in a Final Four with a real close team with Gary and them. And it was like, can it get any better than this? Last year, for all the struggles we went through, our team, don't you think, hung together like.
Yeah.
And now, if I look at the way this spring and summer has started out, I hate to tell Tom, I think it got better. And that was what excites me, You are as good as your best players. But when your best players have humility and work ethic, you got a chance to be special. And I don't know where it'll take us, because we were really good 2 years ago, got beat in the first round. Him and I talked about it, part of his decision. But it gives you a chance, because we're not going to get outworked. We're not going to have problems.
None.
I don't know if it's none, but we're not going to have problems. We don't have egos.
Nope.
And they have a coach that appreciates how they are. And I think as players, they can appreciate how I am.
You just hit something about this basketball team, and I don't mean this as an offense to you, Miles, but I was doing a national radio interview recently, and they asked me what I thought was the strength of this team, and I said it's not Miles. And everyone looked, and the guy on the radio was like, come on. I'm like, no, here's what it is. There's no ego. They're one team. And I used Tom as an example. Last year, a media member asked Tom about if he was worried about Cassius taking his job. And Tom said, do you not watch us in practice? I'm constantly coaching him. The guy goes, well, aren't you worried? He said, when you come here, you agree it's about the program. If he's better than me, he better start, and then I better get mad and work harder to catch him and get my job back. Tom, you can't recruit that. You can't buy it in a bottle, but you got it.
That's why whenever day it is that it's time for him to move on to the next level, whenever that is, it's going to be an easy sell for me, because your best player, just like Tom said, your best player carries that flag. That's the way he is. It's not phony. It's not, and like I said, after this interview, it's back to dog eat dog. And then I'm not giving him another compliment for the result. But the reason I feel like doing it now, I love and appreciate what he stands for. And if he would have left, I still loved and appreciated what he stood for, because of the way he handled himself here. So, I feel blessed. I'm the lucky one. In an era where everybody's complaining about the selfishness and Twitter and you know, my brand and this and that, these guys, I didn't do this. They're the ones that are in the locker room, in the dorms, in the apartments, in the hotels, at the movie theater. They'll determine the humility and the work ethic of our team. Not me. I provide the opportunity. They do it.